Simple Kids, it is so great to see your faces. We've had a super fun month so far, playing games and talking about responsibility. Do you remember what responsibility is? Say it with me. Responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. When you're playing your favorite board game, you need to make sure you understand the rules and you follow them so that you can play your best. It's like that in real life too. We've uncovered a few important rules for life that will help us play well and finish strong. But before we get ready to worship together, let's warm up our bodies because they're about to get stretched. So let's do some jumping jacks, everyone. Come on your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Woo! You know what? Every step we take, every move we make, we can follow God. We can trust Him even when we can't see His full plan. So let's sing to Him now and tell Him that we want to follow Him every day.
See farther than mine. You know it. Your hand is reaching out for my hand. Yeah, you're good. Oh, my Savior, you're good. You're too good. Yeah. So I trust, even when I don't understand. Oh, every step I take, every move I make, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day, yeah. So every single moment, every single day, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day, F-O-double-L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. F-O-double-L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. F-O-double-L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. Every step I take, every move I make, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day, yeah. Every single moment, every single day, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day, F-O-double-L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do.
That was great, Simple Kids. Even when life gets tough, we can keep praising God. His love never fails. He is always with us. As we read in the Bible in Psalms 95, it says, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord, and let us give a loud shout out to the one that saves us. Let us come to Him and give Him thanks, and let us praise Him with music and song." Are you ready? Because let's do that now. Let's sing out loud together and show Him that we will never stop singing His praises.
I can't stop. I won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. I'll never stop singing your praises. Singing your praises.
favorite part of the day, Bible story. And today we're gonna talk about King Solomon. What I love about this story is that he was young, like all of you, when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. You can imagine how he might have felt nervous about doing a job that big. Well, one night, God spoke to Solomon in a dream. God said this, "Ask for anything you want me to give you." Wow! Can you imagine God offering you to ask him for anything you want? Let me think. What would I ask for? Oh, $1 million? A new car. A pool in my backyard? That sounds amazing, doesn't it? What would you ask for? Oh, maybe we should take a nap right now and we can see if God will speak to us in a dream. I'm just kidding. Anyway, do you know what Solomon actually asked for? Solomon asked for wisdom. I don't know if I would have thought to ask that, but God actually gave it to him. And Solomon became one of the wisest people to ever live. He shared some very wise things in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. You know, Proverbs are a great source of wisdom for even you and I today. They give us some really helpful rules for life. You know, one of Solomon's Proverbs explains why it's important for us to work hard in this game of life that we're in. I want you to check out this video with me and I'll be right back to wrap it up.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how he created us and loves us so much that he made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 6 through 8.
King Solomon was young when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. One night, God spoke to him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
What? Solomon had just been given the greatest gift of all time. He could have asked for anything. Unlimited money, the power to defeat all of his enemies, or even to be the best-loved, longest-living king of all time. Instead, though, Solomon made a different ask.
Lord, you have now made me king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
Solomon asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. In fact, Solomon became known as the wisest man to ever live. Over the course of his life, he shared many wise sayings that were later recorded in the book of Proverbs.
These sayings are to help people do what is just and fair, to help young people learn wisdom. Only fools refuse to listen and learn.
The wisdom recorded in Proverbs gives godly advice about nearly everything, from using words wisely to staying away from trouble. But the most famous passages talk about the value of hard work.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
When was the last time you paid attention to an ant, other than the one that you were going to squash on the kitchen floor? To better understand what Solomon means about work, well, I think it's time we take a closer look. Did you know that there are about 1 million ants on Earth for every single human? Yikes! My skin is crawling right now. But just look at how amazing these little guys are. Like Solomon said, nobody lays out a set of rules for them. Nobody offers them an allowance or more screen time if they finish their work. God made them in such an incredible way that they stick with it and get the job done. In fact, some ants can lift up to 50 times their own weight. If you were that strong, you could lift an entire car. And ants use that super strength to store up their food, just like we see in Proverbs. And ants also work smart. They leave a special trail of chemicals, called pheromones, that tells them where they've been so they don't get lost or repeat themselves. And ants are incredibly creative. They actually farm aphids in order to have a constant supply of the honeydew aphids release. And the ants' creativity doesn't stop there. In times of flooding, ants will even protect the queen by forming a lifeboat with their own bodies. Just like Solomon reminds us, ants do whatever it takes to gather up the food they need and to protect their colony. They know how to get the job done, and that's with only about 250,000 brain cells. But you? God made you with 10 million brain cells. He's given you everything you need to work strong, smart, and creatively. And because God has given us so much, there's so much more we can do. In the New Testament, Luke records some of Jesus' words.
Much will be required of everyone who has been given much.
You are creative and strong. You have a brain that works like no one else's. You are determined. And most of all, you are created in God's image. That means that you can work hard at whatever it takes to show love to God and the people He's made. Sometimes that might look like helping raise funds to provide clean water for kids on the other side of the world. Sometimes that might look like cleaning your room before your mom has to remind you 5 times. Or working hard to help your little sister to build an epic Lego palace. Whatever your work, remember Solomon's wisdom.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
Be wise. Work hard. God has given you everything you need to follow through.
It's kind of funny to read about ants in the Bible, isn't it? But you know, Solomon, he was really right. Ants really do show us what it means to work hard. Of course, we can see the very best example of hard work when we look at Jesus. Jesus knew what he had to come to earth to do. He had a massive task in front of him. I mean, he came to give his life for you and me. Jesus lived a perfect life. Then he died on the cross to pay the price for our sins. He completed this big mission and he made it possible for us to have a relationship with him that would last forever. You know what I love? Each one of us has a purpose like that too. God puts many tasks in our lives each and every day. And every day we get a chance to respond to them. Like, what will I do? Or how will I act to this situation? And you know, sometimes we wait to do something until someone tells us what to do. You might see those dirty clothes on the floor, but if your parents don't tell you to clean them up, I bet you might just leave them there, right? Well, what if this week, instead of waiting on someone to tell you what to do, that we actually take initiative and do it ourselves? We can work hard and always give our best effort. Let's look at our bottom line together today. It's easy. Work hard. You make the wise choice when you choose to give your very best. And remember, other people will notice your hard work and they'll see how you always try your hardest, and then they'll know that they can trust you. Let's look at what Jesus said in our Bible verse for today. In Luke 16:10, it says this: "Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large." Simple kids, I know you can do it. This week, I want you to work hard at everything you do. Let's watch this video together.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lawson, and I'm here to wish you a Happy New Year! Now I can hear you saying, but Lawson, 2020 is so last year, and I know this, but I had party glasses from last year, so I chose to make good use of what I've got. Plus, it's really hard to look through a one, you know? Anyways, today I've got a great story from this girl, Cora. She's in my aunt's 6th grade homeroom, and she's learning to put what she has to good use. Now, Cora's been begging to have her own cell phone forever. And on her 12th birthday, she finally gets one. A bright pink unicorn sparkle phone. But Cora's dad says, with great power comes great responsibility. And Mom hands over a list of rules. A long list. Things like only texting and calling people her parents approve, and limited searches in apps. Plus, standing on her head to use it. Cora knows it's all worth it, so she signs the agreement and does the super wonderful wow pow up slam din down secret family handshake. Cora can't wait to get started doing very important things with her phone. Things like taking lots of photos with funny filters and making videos in slow motion for her friends. Cora even sneaks the phone upstairs at bedtime to play Candy Crush. Mom sure isn't happy about that. In fact, Cora loses phone privileges for 3 days. And at that time, she starts to wonder, how can I show Mom and Dad I can be responsible with my phone? So when Cora gets her phone back, she checks out a cool video and teaches herself some calligraphy so she can write a super special card for Grandma. And then Cora figures out a way to edit her own how-to video on the science of baking for chemistry class. And after that, she sets up a group text to organize kids in her class so they can throw a surprise party for their favorite lunch lady's birthday. Now, Mom and Dad are pretty proud of Cora, and they all play a family game of Candy Crunch. So kids, never swap faces with the unicorn, but always do remember that responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. So now it's time to party like it's a 2021. I'll see you guys next time. Ooh, ooh, and move up. Ooh, ooh. How so good it is.
Hey kids, guess what I just got? An ant farm! I got it to remind me and you that work is hard, but if we don't work, nothing will ever get done. Think about it. If the ant didn't work, he wouldn't have any food stored up for the winter. We actually need to work. Plus, think about Jesus. He gave us a great example how to do the work for others. We should have a good attitude and do everything like we are working for God. That means we should all have a good attitude when we work. No complaining and whining, even when our parents want us to do something like we don't want to do, like clean our rooms or help with chores all around the house. Ugh. But this week, remember the little ants and all the hard work that they do, and just be like them. Thanks for joining us this week, and have a great week, and we can't wait to see you right back here next week. Bye-bye.